I wanted to talk to you about motivation and money. That's what makes things happen. More, I see it more and more every day now. The truth about how we network, and to be realistic is money. Wherever my piece of money go, piece of money I had, money, motivation. You got to be motivated to make things happen. You have to be willing to think outside the box and do what's needed to make things happen. And truth be told, we know that money make things happen. And sometimes, if you have a lot of money, you can avoid a lot of things. And if you have enough money and you know where to put it at, you can save yourself some headaches. You can save yourself some misfortune if you know how to utilize your money. But sometimes we get money and we just use it to buy things with. Like, ooh, I want this. Ooh, I need this. Ooh, that look good on me. Ooh. That's all we do is what we want to spend on. But we never learn how to invest the money right properly, or to invest it in things that might not, people can't come through and pat you on the back and say, ooh, that looks good. Sometimes I think we get caught up now. I'm telling you, man, Instagram, instant gratification is something else. Because a person will literally rather look like they're doing well just for some instant gratification or pat on the back of someone thinking they do. But the reality of it, we know that money comes from work ethics, from being motivated, from planting seeds. And I think it's very important that we would figure out ways to motivate ourselves to get the money we need to get to the levels we need to get on, because it takes money and motivation. So we got to have both of them. And times like this, early in the morning, I'm up literally right now motivating myself, thinking about some moves I need to make, how I'm going to make them, thinking about my mom's house and things I'm doing there, my present condition in Georgia, what I'm doing, what I'm working on. And sometimes, man, things can get just overwhelming, just dealing with life. We deal with things, we would be like, dang, whew. It gets rough sometimes, man, when we look at things from a raw perspective. But everything I had faced, man, it took motivation. It took me being motivated to find out the answers, to solve the problem, to get the finances I need. Yesterday, I was on a service call, and I call service calls ATM money, being independent. And I say that because that's some of the quickest ways to make cash. And especially if you're good at what you do, if you're going in, you're repairing something, fixing something, and you are actually improving someone's business. Like, I got a guy that he's in business, and he'll reach out to me to help me improve his business by doing some repairs, some welding, some add-ons or whatever. And I don't overcharge him, but I have to give him my base minimum unless I'm doing a complete overhaul or something, you know what I mean? Complete fabrication. But me helping him with his business helps my business. So me being motivated to be there on time, to go over there and help him, and then I help him at his house, and he feel good about that because I come over there, I do what need to be done, don't mess with his stuff. You know how people be, do what need to be done. I make sure that he feel good knowing that his stuff was done on his property, and I leave and go to the next. And developing these relationships with motivation has opened up doors. Like, I've had people call me, not heard from me in a minute, and be like, hey man, what you got going on? I got this. If you slow right now, you can help me with this. I can help you make some money, you know what I mean? If I'm slow or not. But people like to see you winning too, when you are full of motivation and you help them win. Like, since I help him, he want to make sure I'm eating too. So I think that's the concept of us building businesses with people, especially small business owners, because we know what it takes. It takes money. It takes reputation. It takes motivation. It takes discipline, and we got to be willing to make the proper sacrifices to motivate ourselves. Because it's a sacrifice sometimes. Like every day, it ain't. Every day you wake up, you don't feel like going at it. You know what I mean? Getting to it. But it is what it is. Some days you might do better than others. But one thing for sure, in order for us to get to the next stage, it's going to take motivation. It's going to take money. And a lot of times, it don't take a whole lot of money. See, we get caught up thinking, oh man, it's going to take X amount of dollars. I got to have so many thousands in order for me to do something, man. I have started with nothing and built it as I went, invested as I went, put something here, did this, and it all worked out, man, somehow. But one thing I never do though is put all my eggs in one basket. Like I have service calls, I have products, I have consultations. I'm always doing something to not have me depend just on one source. And I think that that's one thing we're going to have to learn as being independent entrepreneurs, that we can't depend on one source of income. Even if that one source of income is coming in good and it's nice. You're like, oh, bang, this right here check good. I want to milk this here as long as I can. There's nothing wrong with, getting to it. But don't get caught up and get complacent and not focus on the next opportunity. I heard a guy say, when I hit for my first major contract, most people would have thought, oh, I'm good, I'd have made it. As soon as I hit it, I was eager to start looking for the next one. So I think that we should always be on the grind like that, and we should always network our work ethics, because people appreciate you being motivated to come do what you have to do. You do it, show up, knock it out, you give a good product, you sold them a good product, whatever the situation is, they be motivated to tell someone else, man, I got a good deal from so-and-so, and he came to my house. Oh, I was broke down. He pulled up, took care of me. He didn't even try to rape me. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to, he just gave me, it was a fair price for what it was, So I think that we have to just weigh out our options like that and just know that money and motivation goes together. But we have to know how to use money. Like, we can't just use money just to look good. Like, it's overrated, family. Like, it's overrated. Like, I'm not saying don't have nice things, none of that, but make sure you good. We get caught up in image and we don't really be good. So all I'm saying is, I want to see you be good. I want to see you stable, and it's nothing happens overnight, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you, man, nothing happens overnight. Like, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable, and I want to say that because sometimes I have to hit the road and drive here and drive. So sometimes it really feel like you're pulling your teeth. So I just wanted to come to you this morning, talk to you about money and motivation, because we need both. And if you get a little money and you invest it properly, you can do more. You can do more. You can do more. I think now, if your credit, let me say this, if your credit isn't right too, because I've been working on mine, work on your credit. That's money, motivation. So credit, cash, deposit, whatever, work on your credit, man, because a lot of people in this society are living off of credit. They don't have money. They got nice homes, they got nice cars, they living decent off of credit. I have literally been in situations where I know I got more capital than someone, but they got more credit. Their credit is better than mine. I'm like, man, they in this situation, their credit is better than mine. So I've been working on my credit, because at first I used to be like, man, forget credit, it's all cash. And I still believe that in that aspect, that, it's good to have your capital up, but credit helps you save your capital. It helps you use someone else's money to invest money. It helps you get a nicer home or get a home. You know, you got to have credit to even get a home unless you're paying cash for it. So, you know, it's certain things that we got to have in order to sustain ourselves. So, I want to say work on your credit, family. I know I'm in Atlanta, Columbus area. I actually got a lady that's a company that's good, and it's called the 800 Club. So for those who want information, man, inbox me. I give you her information. She's been working on mine and my wife's credit. So we getting it together, you know, slowly but surely, but it's coming. And my goal is to set us up, man, in a good situation where we can be able to make some power moves, because credit, if you ask me, it's like a solid business partner too, because you can use it and don't have to say, hey man, could you invest in so and so with me? You can use your credit and your capital and do it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I would be a lot further than what I am right now today if I had credit. You know what I mean? Like if my credit was good, and it was good at one time. Like when I got out of prison, I didn't have none. I started building it. But one thing, I'm gonna tell you something else, man. We learn over time. We learn from relationships. We jump in relationships, man, for for vain reasons. How someone looks, how they make us feel physically, you know, and we'll make decisions with our money in relationships that's not wise. And this is something for me just growing up and like, you know what, that wasn't a wise decision, but we have to be wise with our money and with our time. So, you know, I know everybody have someone special. Everybody has someone to be in their life. And I just feel like don't go out your way. Don't put yourself in a bind to try to lift someone else up if you are not lifted. Like, and then don't be naive. When you see that you're going right and someone else is pulling left and they don't want to go, you got to have enough strength and the audacity to just face that situation and say, hey, we didn't outgrew one another, or it maybe it wasn't meant, it was just this attraction, and I'm going right and you going left. We can be cool, we can be friends, but you know, we're going two different directions. I'm trying to accomplish something and you don't want to go through. Some people don't want to go through the sacrifice, don't want to go through the struggle. They want the image. They want people to see them in the nice home, in the nice vehicles and all this good stuff, but they don't want to go through the humbling stages of saving and going without certain things. You know, I feel like if a grown man is saving and he's going without certain things, he's doing it for a reason. He got a agenda. You know what I mean? And we have to be strong, because we can have a strong agenda on doing something and get sidetracked when we're dealing with relationships. So, you know, I'm not trying to give no relationship counseling, but I do want to say that we have to be a little bit more firm and stronger with our relationships and the decisions we make on who we want to be with. You know what I mean? I can't tell you, like, just to be realistic with you, some of my past relationships taught me to the day to today. You know what I mean? So I think that we got to be wise, and once we know better, we got to at least share with another young king or queen, and at least help them, keep them from bumping their heads like we bumped ours. You know what I mean? I think that it's wise that you don't have to learn everything by going through it. You can learn it by watching someone else go through it and bump their head and say, you know what, so and so just did that. I'm not going that direction. You know what I mean? So I think that we should just learn from one another, man. Like I say, my relationships, my relationships I had, you know, was all based on physical attractions and lust. To be honest with you, it was based on lust, physical attractions, and one was based on a bond, you know, like having a pen pal and really talking and really getting to know someone. And you get to know someone, but you don't really know someone until you live with them, until you stay with them, or until you're around them more. So just a pen pal situation, or not being around someone, or someone, a person can show you who they want you to see. And in letters, you know, you can see certain things about people when they get upset. You can tell certain things, but on a majority scale, like, people can hide who they are through a letter. So I just want to say, man, when it comes to motivation and money, relationships plays a part in that. Like relationship is like a chain, because if you make the bad relationships with your money, man, it's like it can affect both areas. Hard to stay motivated, and once you get a little something, it's gone. And it's humbling. You know what I mean? Because the relationships that I've had, you know, I can literally say that all my relationships hasn't been bad, but a lot of my relationships was based upon physical attributes, looks, you know, love was something that was developed later. You know what I mean? And some of them, I think about it to this day now, and I'll be like, you know what? You can see how vulnerable you was in certain situations where you make certain decisions. You're like, you know what? I was vulnerable. I was hurting. I just wanted to, some things we do just to feel good. Let's just be honest with you. Some relationships you get in, like, man, I'm just going through. I just want to feel better. And I think that we should we should watch that, because lust is something else, man. It can be a pit. It can be like quicksand. You can get in some lust, bro, and you can't get out of it. It's like you stuck. You're like, one way or another. So, I just wanted to say this morning, man, that we should evaluate those things, because our relationships affect our money. Our relationships affects our motivation. You know what I mean? Like, who you with affects your motivation. You can have someone that's behind you. I got your back. Hey, let's do this. You can have someone that tears you down all the time. You know, and I can say that I'm fortunate right now to actually have to be in a relationship with someone who actually want to see me win, got my back, lift me up when I'm down. When I can't smile, she smile. It's gonna be all right, and that's a cool thing. And sometimes you'll go through so many hurtful situations where you will literally push someone to the side because of what you experienced in that relationship. Relationships can be real humbling, man, and when it comes to dealing with finances and motivations, like I say, I think that relationship is like a link of a chain. Because if we form the wrong relationships, or we make a decision to be in a relationship because we're hurting, or we trying to cover up some pain right now, or you know how you go through something and you be like, man, I want to feel good. I be with this person. That's how most people have, you know, side relationships and all this. They instead of taking care of their business, they'll find somewhere to feel good about something that they're going through. And to me personally, I feel a man that's broke and that ain't got his stuff together, who got a woman and a side woman, he's covering up what he should be doing. Like, if you can't have a side woman if you and your main woman ain't doing good, and you ain't got no money. I'm like, what? That always blew my mind. Like, why would you seek a side woman or a side man, and what you got currently isn't flowing at all? You know what I'm saying? I think we just, like I say, I think we be trying to fill voids. Like, man, I want to fill this void. I'm hurting here. If I can get this relationship, this will make me not think about what I need to be focusing on, working on. I tell people all the time, man, I'm working on me. I'm working on my legacy, and I don't have time for extra drama. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time for it. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like, because I feel like I'm at a stage now as a man where I understand what's most important. And then, family, you got to also take into consideration that I did, over 10 years in prison. And doing time like that, it makes you look at things different. And being in there, it is what it is. A lot of men, they please themselves, or they sleeping with homosexuals. I didn't do none of that. I didn't sleep with a homosexual. Never been with a man. Don't have a desire. None of that. So I just want to get that straight. I am a straight heterosexual male. So, you know, we do other things to relieve our pressure. You know what I mean? So being in there after all that time, one thing I know, after that moment is gone and the smoke And you know, what is it about? You know what I mean? So I don't let that blow my mind, like being with different women. You know, I love women. I think women are one of the greatest gift God gave man. You know what I mean? But I don't feel we should get sidetracked and put them on no pedestal, especially if they don't deserve it and if they're not, you know, a queen to you. They're not fighting off the battle with you. They're just sitting up there pointing their fingers, telling you, you need to make me feel this way. You ain't doing enough. I need to do this. You know, you got people like this. So I think that we have to be wise enough to know that when we're in a healthy relationship or unhealthy relationship. And like I say, me doing that time in prison, it doesn't. Women don't have a big, you know. Like I say, I love women, but I'm not influenced like that where I'm gonna make some foolish decisions based on a woman. Now I have, you know what I mean? But at the stage I am right now, you know what I mean? So, you know, I think that we all grow. So it's okay for the youngsters when I see them bust their head and they're like, oh man, what you doing that for? Like, bro, we did that too. You know what I mean? Like, I think there are stages. Now, after you have outgrown a certain stage and you still on some BS, now I think it's an issue. You know what I mean? I think it's something you need to be working on. But we all go through stages where we get a little money and we'll blow the money, man. We'll get a little money and say, oh, I got a little money. I'm finna go buy me this. Ooh, I'm finna go get this. Ooh, I'm finna get this new so and so. You know how we do. You know what I mean? But instead of just say, hey, I got this little money. I'm finna go invest this in this. I'm finna work on this. I'm finna do this. Like the money I've been putting in my mom's house. Like I've been putting my own money, and I ain't gonna throw no numbers out there. But people know it takes money to do anything constructive and good. So I've been spending my money. You know what I mean? I just got some new flooring in and I'm excited to take it down there, even though my flooring is my last stage, but I got it out the way. I got my carpet and I got my vinyl flooring. I got the good stuff, you know what I mean? Extra padding on it. And I'm excited, but I've been spending money, you know, and I can't tell you all this has been easy, man, because I'm independent. We trying to save, get our credit right, homestead, business, and, you know, kids, family. And this is, you know, it is what it is, but I try to just stay focused and do what I need to do. And regardless of the situation, I remain humble and knowing that I got to stay motivated, even when I don't feel motivated, family. Like this morning, I'm motivating myself, you know what I mean? Because I got so much on my plate, so much I'm trying to do. And I wish I had a bigger team. I wish I had some comrades that thought like me, that we can really get a bag, but it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that right now. Not at this present moment anyway. But I do have some comrades, a couple that I talk to, but we ain't really just getting the bag. You know what I mean? Some of my old guys that I grew up with when I was in the streets, you know, we knew how to eat. We'll put our money in to go get that sack, you know. But now when you're trying to do something professional and business and you're trying to do something, man, you can't get that $100. You can't get $1,000 to put with your $1,000 and flip and make him his money and then some extra. People ain't looking like that. Like everybody want a quick flip, or they just say, oh man, that's a bit, I don't know about that, that's a sacrifice. Like, man, everything we do in this life is a sacrifice, family. You know what I mean? Everything is a sacrifice. So I just wanted to say, money and motivation, and relationships, it's like a chain, you know. So we have to be firm and recognize that we have to keep ourselves motivated. We have to stand after we have done all, just stand. And that's the hardest part, just to like stand after you put all your effort in, all your, you know, all your drive, your money, your sweat, your prayers, to stand. And then, you know, knowing what to do when you get the money, because we get the money. Even like, for instance, think of the people who got extra unemployment. Man, I would have loved to got that extra unemployment that people got. Everybody got like extra 600 and they was complaining. People ain't starting no business. They blowing the money, and now all the money gone. And I'm still in the same situation, man. They were buying bigger TVs, a new furniture set, and I'm not knocking none of that if it's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people, man, that was benefiting through this pandemic. That a lot of people got rich through this pandemic, literally, and fell off. Because if you don't know anything about financial literacy, if you don't know how to invest, if you don't understand money, then money's just gonna roll through your hands. You'll get it and it's gone. It's just what happens. You know what I mean? So we have to learn all of those things, and we have to be humble and don't overwhelm yourself. Let me say this: learn at your own pace. Don't put too much on your plate. Get enough digested. Like, okay, I understand that. Move on, but don't put too much on your plate. You know, because all that's gonna do is discourage you and keep you from pursuing your goals. So bite enough pieces off that's sufficient for you, and keep going, man. You know, keep going, keep pushing yourself, keep motivating yourself, and learning more about financial literacy. Like I said, once again, for those, if your credit isn't right, work on your credit. Work on your saving, not in those savings account. I think this is my personal opinion. I think you should have a cash saving. You should have your stash with some cash just in case some stuff go left field. You can make some moves. You know what I'm saying? And I think you should have another savings that's not in the bank. I'm gonna tell you, bank saving your money in the bank, you helping the bank. If you put $5,000 in the bank and you put $5,000 in some type of reserve stock or some type of something that's gonna always make you money, I think that's smarter. A lot of banks that we network with, man, they'll take our money when they can give you a loan to do business. They'll help you buy a car, put you in debt. Sometimes, you know, you might get a house. You know what I mean? That's in debt for life to some people, you know. And I just feel like we don't look at things business wise. So think of business, because if you don't think, if you don't get serious about your finances, you'll never have serious finances. So learn about some financial literacy, learn how to invest your money in certain stocks. You know, I'm new to the game on stock, but I am an investor, and you have to have faith. Go with what you know. If you know it's working, go with what you know that's working. If you find out another portfolio that's working, invest in that. I'm not knocking nobody on how they invest. That's all up to you. But I think you should. You should learn how to invest, and you should, you know, come up with a product, man. I like to say this: selling a product, your product, someone else's product, but have a good, reliable product to sell that people need, a need. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, one thing I have noticed, if I have noticed nothing else, products make money. Everybody need them, and now they make products so custom and tailored to each individual needs. That's why you got so many different toothpastes, so many different hairbrushes, so many different vehicles, because everybody want to tailor to you, personally. You like they want to make it specifically for a specific person, not for a group of people, but for a specific person. You like a certain color, certain smell. So we have to think the way the system is networking. So the system is set up to always get our finances, always get our money. So we have to learn how to utilize our money, how to invest our money, and how to buy tools, things that makes money, products, invest in things that's gonna, you know, make money, a no-brainer. You know, the more I look at products, family, just the more I just have to say that invest in a product, yours, someone else's. If it's reliable, invest in a product to sell, because people gonna buy good products regardless. So even if you're not doing your dream thing, products gonna always sell. So you know, a lot of us want to remove ourselves from the job because a job is so oppressive and so demanding and degrading at times, a lot of times. So we try to move ourselves to replace that income that we was getting on that job. And to me, one of the fastest ways to replace it is having some type of product, selling some type of product, yard sale, flea market, Craigslist, offer up, Facebook market, something, some type of product. Like, products work. I'm just gonna, it is what it is. So the more I have went against it and try to do other things, the more I come back to realize the truth that it's products over talent. Meaning you have to have the talent, but products can keep you from being a slave. Products can actually have you free up more of your time and be more of a free agent, be more flexible with your time when you have products. So think products over talent, motivation and money, work on your relationships, your credit, like all of these things matter. So didn't want to take that long this morning, but as you see, you know, once you get in the conversation, you get to thinking about just life itself and what you're going through and how you can share what you're facing with someone else, because I really feel we all face certain things, and it's easy to get sidetracked. It's easy to get caught off guard with looks, with image, with bling, with jewelry, with thinking somebody is doing good and they really not. You want to do good, family. You just don't want to look good. So I just want to leave you with that this week, today. Hope everybody have a successful week. And just keep in mind, man, motivation and money goes together. But you got to know how to invest your money. You got to know what to do with the money. You know, enjoy life. Get some things, buy some things, eat some food, go some places, see some things. Just make sure you still got an income coming in. As long as you alive, we got bills to pay. We got people to take care of. So get you some life insurance. I just want to say this before I leave. If you don't have life insurance, get you some life insurance. Anything might happen to you, life is short. You don't want nobody trying to figure out how they're going to bury you or burn you. Get you some life insurance, please, for your kids' sake. If you got a nice vehicle and you ain't got no life insurance on yourself to leave something to your kids or to help some, I think that's very important. So regardless of what you're doing, get you a phone bill out. That's like a life insurance, $50 to $100, whatever it is. If you're later in life, sometimes it can be a little higher, but at least get you some burial insurance where ain't nobody got to worry about you, because life is real. We don't know when we gonna go, but we know we got to go. If it was meant for us to stay here, would nobody be dying. So let's keep that in mind, family. Stay safe, stay blessed, keep getting your hog on. Black Feniks.